Okay, we're at Dave's place and he's getting the Golf out. He's got a powered garage door which makes revealing cars that little bit more special. Hello and welcome back to the Volkswizard channel, and welcome to another Volkswizard car collection video, because today I'm about to get on a train from here in Leamington Spa to the south coast to collect a car that for many people is seen as peak modern Golf GTI. And I don't just mean the model, I mean the options on this particular car, because it ticks a lot of boxes for a lot of people, primarily because the owner who's had the car from new didn't tick that many boxes, but he ticks two very important boxes that are rarely ticked even individually. It's super rare to have both on the one car, so I cannot wait to get down to Southampton and show you this car. I've paid a deposit for it already. I haven't seen it, which is always a bit of a gamble, but it's such a rare spec that I've just got to buy it. So let's get on this train, hopefully get a seat, and show you what is quite possibly peak modern Golf GTI. Well, that train was on time, and usually I've got to tell you how much I hate using cross-country trains, because generally you're standing in somebody else's armpit, even with a ticket reservation. So I had to pay £100 today to go first class to guarantee a seat, which has allowed me to do a bit of time working on the editing of a video. Okay, here comes my lift then, in his Cupra Born VZ. So this apparently is the hot one, 0-62 in 5.4 seconds, 325 horsepower, so just a bit less than the current Golf R. And it's electric, of course, and this is what Dave's replaced his Golf GTI with. So electric cars do have some good things about them. Hi Dave.
Hello. Hi.
Thanks for the lift.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you finally.
Before we get started, let me just remind you guys how you can support the channel. The easiest way is to subscribe. Another way is to help me fill up all this empty space in my unit by letting me buy your interesting Volkswagen Group vehicle. I'm looking for cars with a full service history, average mileage or below, really good condition, and ideally unmodified. If you're thinking about selling via an online car buying service, then I suggest you carry on doing that for various reasons. If you're looking at trading in though with a dealer, particularly a VW main dealer, although it's actually the car was bought from a seller who was going to trade it in at Porsche and we beat them, then get in touch and I promise you a very fair trade price and no hassle, no security risk. You'll only deal with me, and I generally don't chip people down as well when I come and see the cars if they've been described accurately. Anybody disagrees with that, you can say so in the comments. So if you've got anything like that, then drop me an email, andrew@volkswizard.co.uk. Okay, we're at Dave's place and he's getting the Golf out. He's got a powered garage door which makes revealing cars that little bit more special. So there we have it. Atlantic blue GTI performance 7.5. Looks good from here, Dave.
Good.
supplied by Peak Cupra in Southampton. Got
yes.
you. Okay, yeah. Let's get it out and have a look at it and have a listen, because it's quite a loud car. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, what's a really good sign is the paint looks good from this angle. Often the tailgate, because it gets dirty, can be a bit swirl marky. Sounds great. So we have a really good sound with the 7.5 performance. We have the 18-inch wheels, which we'll talk about shortly, but they, for me, for driving dynamics, are peak. We've got the bigger brakes with the performance model as well. And Atlantic blue is a classy colour, which is important with the Golf GTI because it needs to fit in anywhere. There's no bad colour, but it just looks more expensive than white, which is really, really common. We've got Bridgestones all round. Beautiful. It's better than I expected, actually. I didn't see many photos of the car before I came down here, and photos don't really tell you anything anyway, but we're just dodging the rain, so yeah, super happy with that. Let's talk about the options now then. So one option is the colour, but the key ones are... Actually, let's start off with the interior. So Dave, you sat in the showroom and you said, I don't want tartan.
Correct.
You don't want leather.
Correct.
So what drew you to Art Velours? Because it's such an unusual choice and it's such a cool choice.
I don't like the tartan. Ever since I had the Mark 1 Golf GTI. Leather, I find it's sticky in summer and too cold in winter. And we tried this on a demo car they had there. So that's the one. And I love the pattern they put in, the honeycomb.
Yeah.
And it gives you, with the red accents in the stitching, just sort of lifts the interior a little bit.
Yeah, it does a good job of looking more expensive than the tartan, but also being a bit racier as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's pretty similar to the one in the Mark 8, but I think for some reason in this car it looks, in the Club Sport, it looks more expensive, like pretty much everything in the inside. So that's good.
Good.
And then let's talk about the other option, which you can show me on the screen.
Yeah.
Because this, I mean, this is nice, but this affects every second when you're driving. But again, I'm really pleased to be able to ask somebody who ordered a car from you with this, what was your thought process and whether the dealer encouraged you to go for it or it was just your own decision.
Ah, there we go. Yeah.
So there we go, 3 letters mean an awful lot, DCC, adaptive dampers. So if we go into individual and then change, you can see there we have the options. It's not multi-calibrated like in the Mark 8, but it's good enough, isn't it, with those 3?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you don't surprise me by being in comfort mode, because
yeah, not round here.
no, the roads are pretty shocking, to be honest.
But if you go to the motorway, it's just flick the button through and you can firm it up quite easily.
So just take us back to the showroom then when you were speccing the car. Had you experienced this on a car before?
No, but I'd seen reviews, there's quite a lot of reviews, and some of them summarised it as one option to get, DCC. So get that first, that's the number 1 option. We tried a car with it.
They had a demo, did they?
Yes.
Oh, that's
it took about 2 weeks to arrange. Went out with it, and we'd previously tried a car without it, and it's like, got to have that. Yeah, definitely.
See, you make it sound so easy to conclude that, but yet so few cars were ordered with it.
Yeah. So other things I think people want more of an image. They won't go for the leather. They want a panel roof or something.
Which we haven't got. Which again.
No, but I wanted the GTI is about driving.
Yeah.
And if that adds the enjoyment of driving, get it. If you're going to have other little bits and pieces, it would be nice to have a reversing camera, but it's not essential.
No.
Whereas this does affect the driving.
Every second, it's adapting.
Yeah.
Right. The camera, the reverse camera, the few times you reverse, and you've still got parking sensors front and rear anyway.
Yeah, it's perfect, good view out the back of this car.
They're easy to manoeuvre even without sensors. Excellent. So nothing else apart from the colour. Other than that, it's a stock car.
Yeah.
Which is good because some things can detract. So no sunroof, no 19-inch wheels. So you weren't tempted with those.
No, well, it'd be counterintuitive to go for DCC with our roads around here and then stick 19-inch wheels on.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine had the Golf R at the time, and he had DCC.
Yeah.
But it was just too. What was the term somebody used? The ride was too brittle.
Yes.
And when he said that absolutely summed it up. So that's why we go for the Golf R.
Yeah, I think the R's aren't much harder than this, but I think they vary them maybe year to year.
Yeah.
But an early R with DCC and 19s is really compliant, but then I think the later cars aren't so compliant. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but so the aesthetic qualities of the wheels we will overlook because from a driving perspective, they're better than the brushes.
Yeah.
Have they survived well? Have you had to have any refurbished? Should we have a look outside?
Oh yeah.
So the car's 8 years old now, and it's done, what, about 50,000 miles just under, hopefully?
Yeah, 49,200.
Good, so I'll get it back under 50, which is useful.
Yeah.
So, how have the wheels survived? Because they look amazing now, but...
I cheated.
How?
I got an extra set of wheels.
How did you... Were they second-hand?
Yes. Somebody got a GTI. He wanted, for some reason, being able to get the car stock or something with 18-inch alloys on. He wanted the 19s. So he was, I don't know, somewhere, Gateshead or something. He wanted to sell off the wheels, complete with tyres. The tyres still had the little spiky things on.
Yeah.
They were absolutely new. He wanted £600. It cost £100 for shipment, but £700 I've got.
You couldn't buy one wheel from Volkswagen for that?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, so there was a big demand for brushes, and there were loads of them in the dealer network when the Mark 8 came out, and they're fitting them to those. And from an aesthetic perspective, they do look good, but maybe I'm getting old as well now, and I'd rather have these. The tyres are cheaper.
I love these.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
grown
they're
on
very
me.
nice.
They are really grown on me.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
There's also, looking after them, because the car's been had a ceramic coating when it's 2 days old, and then parts of it have been ceramic coated, in fact 3 times. The wheels and calipers they've been ceramic coating 3 times at least now.
Wow, not many people I know do the calipers, but
We've got the wheels off,
Yeah.
and the calipers look nice. They
do.
They've got the GTI logo. They've got red, and it helps to set off the car.
that GTI logo can look very second-hand by this age and mileage. So that looks brand new, like high definition. So that's good. It's not particularly chippy either. That's the problem with blue, that it can be quite chippy, but it looks. You obviously haven't been driving up the backside of people.
No, well, you don't.
So.
2-second rule. There are 2 that you should be aware of. There.
Okay.
I've given them my best go.
Yeah.
And I haven't got a smart repairer here that I trust to do the colour match. Probably
a good idea, yeah.
Because they did my wife's car before, and between the 3 of them, it's like, it's all blue. None of them actually match. So there's that bit, and where somebody dinged it on there, and that's faded a little bit.
Okay, what's that, a car park door dent?
Yeah, it is,
okay.
yeah.
That's, all things considered. Windscreens, you still on the original?
Yeah.
So other than routine servicing, has anything else been done, like thermostat, water pump? Cool.
No, the main problem was the fuel filler cap wouldn't lock, it wouldn't stay closed. That's it.
That's pretty good. Excellent. And service history?
Yeah.
So from what I can see on the digital record, you bought it from Peter Cupra, Southampton, and had it serviced there pretty much every year. Yeah. Which is quite unusual.
I've got all the service history laid out.
Yeah.
There are a couple of points where I think there's 2 years where, because it's always on the service plan, if there are no extras, they didn't give me an invoice. So it's a record of it being done, etc., but there's no invoice.
Okay.
So
that's fine. So yeah, we've agreed a price in advance. I'm very happy. So
good.
Let's get you paid, and then I can get back home and see if this really is Peak Golf GTI, because it should ride well, it should handle well, it should be economical. It's fast enough, isn't it, really? Although that's faster, but we won't go there. Maybe for 2 minutes it's faster. But yeah, looking forward to driving that home. So thanks, Dave.
Okay. Enjoy it.
Thank you. Okay, I've paid Dave and I'm loaded up with a spare set of wheels, which is always handy in my job. So I'm getting some wheels refurbished, I can just stick those on. And I'm now about to drive the car home. So it's not a keyless car, which is another bonus. And we've also got a normal infotainment system, not the upgraded one. So we have the knobs, which make using it a lot easier. We've obviously got the digital instrument cluster, which actually you could spec out if you didn't want it on early 7.5s. And we've got nearly half a tank of fuel, so thanks for that, Dave. So yeah, that was the perfect purchase. The car's still under warranty as well, because Dave was paying for a VW warranty every month. Just give me peace of mind that if anything needed doing, it would have been done. It's got a service plan as well, and it's got CarPlay, so I can't really drive without Waze these days. It's a bit sad, but yeah, it's safer. It tells you about potholes, tells you about speed cameras. It's great, and we're going to run in comfort mode because we've got DCC and we want it to be as comfortable as possible. Lovely art velours. So there we have CarPlay. Perfect. So yeah, let's get this Golf GTI back to Warwickshire, and then we can take it for a drive there, and I can just show you exactly why this is one of, if not the best hot hatch you can buy. Okay, we are back at Volkswizard HQ then in Peak GTI. Let me just show you what the trip computer has recorded. It's 49,326 miles in total. And thanks to Dave for the fuel, got me back comfortably. So 44.9 miles to the gallon. And I wasn't hanging around, you know, I was going the speed limit and carrying four wheels as well. And that's over 130 miles. That probably included the test drive, 2.5 hours driving. So again, that's another reason why this car is Peak GTI. It's not maybe as efficient as the base GTI, but its level of performance is much higher, and I think the economy is there or thereabouts the same if you drive it sedately. DSG helps as well. We've got 7-speed in this car, and this is key to it being peak. We have the standard Discover head unit, so we don't have the bigger Pro I've got in my car. So we have knobs, which, trust me, are really much nicer to use. And we also have a screen that's big enough for Waze. It's been brilliant on the way home. And we don't have keyless entry, so you know, you don't really need to improve on this. Somewhere to put the key, and very importantly, it makes the car more secure. And because this is such an important car, we don't want it stolen and chopped up in chop shops in inner city Birmingham. Less is most definitely more with this car. It's just my opinion, by the way. You may disagree, and bear in mind, I drive a car that's nothing like this, but it's still a 7.5 Golf GTI performance. It's all down to what you prefer. But a good driving car is something we can all appreciate. And even though this is a modest looking car in relatively dull blue with tiny wheels, it still could in theory be one of the best driving Golf GTIs of all time. I think we should find out if that's the case. Another reason why this is Peak GTI is because it's the lightest spec you can get that gives you the bits you need. I know there's a big fan club for 3-door cars, but when you come to sell them, they don't seem to be there to buy them. And that's because a 5-door Golf is the most practical. It still looks great. I think that's essential for it to be Peak Golf GTI. I know you guys may disagree, but practicality is key with a hot hatch. Why make it less practical? Also, we've got DSG. I know it's heavier. I know it's less involving than a manual, but for daily use, practicality, it's important. And actually this 7-speed is so good that you won't feel you're missing out when you're driving enthusiastically. I drive one every day and I really, really love it. 6 speeds are okay, but 7-speed is just a lot smoother, a lot sharper. Also important is that this car makes a reasonable amount of noise. It's not too noisy because that would take away from its peak status. It's got some character. It goes away when you're cruising, which is what you want, but at slow speed it's there, particularly cold idle. It's actually surprisingly loud. Mark 7s were pretty quiet all the time, so it's interesting what they've done with the 7.5. It's not as loud as a TCR, but it's not that far behind. But we don't have any extras that add weights that detract from the driving or the practicality, so we haven't got a heavy sunroof in the wrong place to raise the centre of gravity. We haven't got dyno audio. We've got seats that I prefer the look of, but also they're a lot grippier than leather, and they're probably grippier than the tartan as well, because Alcantara microfiber is super grippy. And of course we've got DCC. This might add a little bit of weight, but it's negligible, and the difference it makes is massive. So we're in comfort mode now. We're on the 18-inch wheels. I've checked the tyre pressures. I think it's 38 psi. I'm getting a perfect impression of how this car should perform in comfort mode with DCC on 18s, and it's beautiful. The roads in Warwickshire aren't the worst in the world, but they're not the best either, and it just gives the car a little bit of compliance that is very welcome in a daily driver. In fact, if you're driving spiritedly, you can't drive it in comfort mode because it does feel a little bit too wallowy, but you can sharpen it up with normal mode. And to be honest, that is all you'll ever really need. But if you want to mix and match, then obviously we've got individual mode that will let you have the suspension in comfort mode, but also you can mix it with like the sport steering, which is a bit heavier, the more aggressive throttle response in sport as well, and the more aggressive VAQ front diff locking in sport mode. The only problem with this car is that I find myself doing 10 miles an hour faster than I think I'm doing, because being bumped around on a road increases the sensation of speed, and because this car is so placid on roads like these, you don't think you're going as fast as you are. Therefore, you need to be super careful. But at least with this standard digital instrument cluster, you can set the speedo larger so that you've got no excuse for not knowing what speed you're doing. Fake sound wise, it's in normal now. It's not actually that noticeable. On Mark 7s it's pretty tragic. On this car, unless it's been deactivated, it's pretty quiet. And the brakes, we've got bigger brakes with Performance Pack. They're all you need for the road. They're actually the same size as the Club Sport S ones, 340mm, but instead of being two-piece, really expensive discs to replace, they're just one-piece steel, a little bit heavier, but you'll be grateful for that when you come to replace them. Okay, so this is normal mode, and I think it's just perfect. Unless the roads are really bad, you just use normal, which is exactly how the car should be. So tip it into this corner at 60. Oh, it's just so beautiful. You can feel there's enough compliance in the suspension to absorb any mid-corner bumps. It's not deflecting you. Even then, even just on that corner, this car feels spectacular. And as I said, it does 45 to the gallon as well. It really is the perfect road car. In fact, I'd be inclined to say this car is peak golf, not just golf, peak Golf GTI. I know that will probably upset a lot of Golf R owners, but let's face it, those cars are really too quick for the road. You're lugging around a lot of weight with a four-wheel drive system that only helps you get off on a standing start. After that, it's just a burden. So in gear, acceleration time, it will be quicker than this car, but does it really need to be quicker than this car? I don't think so. It's such a complete car. And the final thing that makes this car peak is how easy they are to sell. I've already sold this car to an old customer of mine. He's trading in a very interesting older performance Golf that will form hopefully the channel's next project, but I didn't even have to advertise it, and if I had, I'm sure even before posting an Auto Trader ad, I put it on the VagWiz channel, which by the way you should subscribe to if you want to see the cars I'm selling, because they generally go on there before they go on Auto Trader. It's very unusual for me to sell this car without it going even on the VagWiz channel, but most cars will, so check it out, VagWiz. But yeah, if you can get a good one of these cars, there's a ready market for them, and I think we're already very close to a 7.5 being worth more than a similar spec, similar mileage, slightly newer Mark 8. And that reminds me, takes me back to when I started Volkswagen selling Mark 2 Golfs. They were actually selling for more than a Mark 3. pretty quickly after the Mark III came out because it wasn't that well received by the public, and the same is true of the Mark 8. The 7.5 is basically the Mark II Golf GTI for the modern world, and I don't think that's a bad thing at all. As ever guys, thanks for watching this Volkswizard video. Keep subscribing, keep commenting, and I'll see you for the next one very soon.